responsible for dividing the human race?
Johann Friedrich Blumenbach. According to Wikipedia, Johann Friedrich Blumenbach, 1752 to 1840, divided the human species into 5 races in 1779, later founded on crania research, description of human skulls, and called them 1793-1795.
When did you be?
What do you think we need to do?
We need to stop believing the myth. In this country, what we call education is actually indoctrination. And it takes us from the ages of 5 to the age of 18 to thoroughly indoctrinate people so that they will believe in the myth of white superiority. And it is a myth.
Right.
Now, you can't do that while you're teaching that Columbus discovered America.
Right.
There were black people on this continent 4,000 years before Columbus was born.
Right.
We teach black history in the schools as if it started with slavery. I'm not a white woman. I'm a faded black person. My people move far from the equator. And that's the only reason my skin is lighter. That's all any white person is. Because we, our great, hey.
Because there's no such thing as race. There's no such thing as race.
There's one race. There's one race, the human race. And then you all came from the same black women 300,000 to 500,000 years ago. The human race began with black women. My cousins, and you are all my cousins. Make no mistake about this. We are all 30th to 50th cousins because we all have the same black great-great-great-great-great-great-grandmother back there 300,000 to 500,000 years ago. So get over the idea that you are white. There's one race.
Yeah. The human race.
The human race.
One race.
Now, will every person in this group who's biracial please stand?
Biracial.
Oh, I told you there's only one race.
Damn it, you got me.
And you too. How dare you? Didn't you listen to anything I said?
We were listening. It just takes a minute, Jane.
Let me ask you this. How long do you think the idea of race has been around?
Since
the beginning of time?
That's just what I thought you were going to say. And you are just as wrong as you can be.
I was going to say since around the 1400s.
Right. It started with
The Spanish.
the Spanish Inquisition. Before that, race was not
Spanish
a problem, but they found out that they were killing people who were of their religious belief, but they couldn't tell what their religion was by looking at them. So they had to find another way to identify those they were going to kill, so they set upon skin color. We have also been indoctrinated with the myth of white superiority. We've got pictures of the baby Jesus who looks like the little Pillsbury Doughboy. He didn't look like the Pillsbury Doughboy.
That's true.
And it says in the Bible that Jesus had kinky woolly hair and feet of bronze.
Yep.
Here's what you can do. You can educate yourself. The schools won't do it.
They won't.
They don't want you to know the truth. They can't afford to have blacks know the truth. But what you have to realize is, within 30 years, white people will have become a numerical minority in the United States of America. Now, blacks and people of other color groups have got to stop playing defense and start playing offense.
I think that part of what the responsibility that we as a black community need to take on is educating ourselves and preparing ourselves for what's to come.
Absolutely. You need to educate yourself and your children before they go to school.
Exactly.
And when they come home from school spouting this crap that they've learned in school, then you need to take them inside and say, here, look at this. Here's what really happened.
Right.
There's one race, the human race.
We hate because we're taught to hate. We hate because we're ignorant. We are the product of ignorant people who have been taught an ignorant thing, which is that there are 4 or 5 different races. There are not 4 or 5 different races. There's only one race on the face of the earth, and we're all members of that race, the human race. But we have separated people into races so that some of us can see ourselves as superior to the others. We thought it would work, I guess. It hasn't worked. It has been bad for everyone. But it's time to get over this business. There is no gene for racism. There's no gene for bigotry. You're not born a bigot. You have to learn to be a bigot. Anything you learn, you can unlearn. It's time to unlearn our bigotry. It's time to get over this thing, and we best get over it pretty soon. I'm an educator, and it's my business as an educator to lead people out of ignorance. The ignorance of thinking that you're better or worse than someone else because of the amount of a pigment in your skin. Pigmentation in your skin has nothing to do with intelligence or with your worth as a human being.
Actually, no, shut up.
No.
Can you shut your mouth for a minute?
No.
Because I actually work in the ghetto. I see the people.
Do you know why they're in that
Go and I
position?
see these people.
Do you understand the systematic
They
and
get all
historical
kinds
reason
of
for why they're in
chances
that
and
position?
They don't care. All they want to do is be ghetto.
No.
Yes, there's
No.
some that don't, and there's good people. And then
No.
most of them just want to suck off the system or do something bad like drugs or gangs. And that's all they
They
care
have
about.
been oppressed. They have
It
not been
doesn't
given
matter.
the
They
same
get the
opportunities
chances.
you have
Yes,
had.
they do, and there's plenty of black people.
No, they
There's
don't,
plenty of-
Dad.
there's plenty of
And you not
minorities.
recognizing that as an issue is the reason why it's still continuing today.
I see them all over. There's all kinds of successful people that are of color. It doesn't matter what color, brown, white.
But it's a lot
orange,
harder for
yellow.
them to get to that
It doesn't
position.
matter. When they do, they're fine. But there's always filthy animals. And that
You're calling people of color black
No.
animals. You're calling them animals.
I'm talking. You didn't
Are
let me
you
finish.
kidding me?
You didn't let me finish.
That's not
I'm
okay.
talking about the
No,
children
no
part,
matter what,
too.
that's not okay. No matter what, it's
It
not
is
okay.
okay.
Racism is not okay. Why do you think that racism is okay?
Oh, that's mine.
Billy, I'm gonna look at. No, I'm looking at
That's
statistics
my
right
medal. I
now.
gotta get a necklace.
Your statistics can be warped. Statistics can be warped. You want me to show you videos?
So why are my-
Do you want me to show you videos of cops? I will do
my
it.
statistics wrong?
Because they can be warped. I'm not giving statistics right now. They can be warped. Personal experiences can't.
No, because this is actually putting it into play. When you
Do I need to show you a bunch of videos of cops attacking protesters? Peaceful protesters.
listen to this. This is the number.
You mean I'm informed and educated?
You're not though.
Yes, I
You're
am.
one-sided informed.
Mom, I was watching political stuff and you said to turn that off because you don't want to hear about it.
Because
That
I'm
means that
sick
I
of
am
hearing it.
educated on it and you are not.
I'm sick of hearing it.
The fact that you can have that ignorance,
Really,
ignorance for the majority is bliss.
Okay, so-
Ignorance for the minority
So I'm
is
looking at statistics
destruction.
that are wrong.
Hey, idiot. What's the original name for Africa?
Alkebulan. According to The Guardian Nigeria, in Kemetic History of Africa, Dr. Sheikh Anna Diop writes, the ancient name of Africa was Alkebulan. Alkebulan, mother of mankind, or Garden of Eden. Alkebulan is the oldest and the only word of indigenous origin.
The name of Africa is Kebilan, the Garden of Eden, Mr. So-called black man. Who named you black? Who called you black? Who created the black and white race? What year? What century? Eh? Who named Africa? Who named Africa? This boy there, hold on, man. Where did the name Africa originate?
According to South African History Online, one of the most popular suggestions for the origins of the term Africa is that it is derived from the Roman name for a tribe living in the northern reaches of Tunisia, believed to possibly be the Berber people.
Arrived from the Roman name. Africa, the name Africa, arrived from the Roman name. Another thing that wanna run around here call yourself Africans, your conquerors stole you from Kebilan, the Garden of Eden, renamed it Africa, renamed you black, and you're fucking running around here arguing and fighting, calling yourselves black, calling yourself Africans. Google even know. Ask Google where the name Africa originate from. They're gonna say Rome. Ask Google what's the original name for Africa. It say Kebilan, mother of creation, Garden of Eden. So me I tell you, you bring your black knowledge, you bring your black power, you bring all that blackness, I will bring foundation from my ancestors, roots and culture, knowledge that I dig down into the ground, and I draw up from my ancestors who tell me, you not black, you're not black, you know nigga, that man that kidnapped and killed us, he created that. We did not create these names. My ancestors are balling from the earth. My ancestors is calling from the earth, saying you are not black. You are not a nigger. The man who kidnapped us, the man who murdered us, he created that. My ancestor says that to me. Tell the people that they are not black. Tell the people that they are not niggers. Tell the people that they are the foundation of this planet. The Alpha, the Omega, the beginning, the end. Anything less than that is destroying your power, destroying your godhood. And all who read the Bible, go looking at the Psalms. Go looking at the Psalms. Psalms, it says, you are gods, but you will die like men for your ignorance. For your ignorance. And then Einstein himself said, I fear for the human race because I fear technology will make them stupid. Einstein said that. Some of you hurt my head. Where you get your information from? Not where you get your information from. I get my information from researching. Most of you, I don't know who taught you your information. Okay? The human race cannot be divided. The human race cannot be divided. Google knows it. I'm not talk too long. Not this time. Is it possible to divide the human race?
According to Scientific American blogs, the science of genetics demonstrates that humans cannot be divided into biologically distinct subcategories, and it challenges the traditional concept of different races of humans as biologically separate and distinct.
What that say? What that say? Me tell you already, there's no such thing as race. I told you it's no such thing as race. It's already in the books. Google knows it's in the books. I told you who divided the race, what year they divided it. And I also told you you cannot divide race into black, white, blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. You cannot. Once again, before I get out of here, let me ask Google so you can see for yourselves, people. Is it possible to divide the human race?
According to Scientific American blogs, the science of genetics demonstrates that humans cannot be divided into biologically distinct subcategories, and it challenges the traditional concept of different races of humans as biologically separate and distinct.
Oh, I'm done. For y'all don't know black people, for y'all don't know white people, you're some fucking idiots. You don't even know who you are. You cannot be a separate race. You cannot be a separate race. Cannot divide the human species. That was a mad scientist who gave you that idea to feel good about enslaving and raping and murdering another set of human beings. Humans were separated so one species could feel happy, safe, proud, and good about itself because it exterminated many populations on this earth. Remember what me I tell you. Remember, there's only good people and bad people. One love.